Hi, I'm Valentino Rossi, and if you like our content, like and subscribe for more.
Morning and welcome to the Mandalika circuit. We're live at the Indonesian Grand Prix, one of the most exotic locations in the entire season. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the MotoGP race. We're moving to the live feed on the starting grid where everything is now ready for the start of the race.
Further west and delayed Indonesian Grand Prix, Quartararo will launch from pole with Martin and Zarco both on the front row. It's a career best grid start for Brad Binder in fourth, while Qatar GP winner Enea Bastianini and 2021 championship runner-up Pecco Bagnaia are alongside him. Miguel Oliveira, Alex Rins and Jack Miller are all in the third row, with Aleix Espargaro, Fabio Di Giannantonio and Luca Marini completing the top 12. Franco Morbidelli was slapped with a grid penalty and he starts from P14 with Marco Bezzecchi in 15th. There's no Marc Marquez, with the 8-time world champion declared unfit after a crash during warm-up, and Paul Espargaro takes his place on the grid. Alex Marquez is a skilled wet weather rider, so keep an eye on him in row 6 alongside Andrea Dovizioso and Joan Mir. Maverick Vinales.
Riders have completed the warm-up lap. Fabio Quartararo starts from pole position. Just a few moments more and we will see the start of the Grand Prix.
Late than we expected, but better late than never. The Grand Prix of Indonesia are underway here by the GP action, underway in Indonesia. Storming start. Quartararo, the poleman, gets the whole shot into third.
Look at Alex Rins, straight around the outside. He's ran wide into turn one. He's got Jorge Martin on the side, and Rins got a brilliant start from the third row of the grid. He's now been eased wise by Jorge Martin, but Quartararo, just as he hoped for, he's got the whole shot. He's got a clear track. Game places up into 6th.
And here comes Bagnaia attacking on the brakes then on the inside of Quercia corner, turn number 8. They lean on each other. The two future factory Ducati teammates going now towards turn number 9. It's Miller who made a dream launch on that first pole in 4 years. Bagnaia trying to run that tight inside line through Tomonto. No way through on that quick, aggressive change direction through 1 and 2.
Well, I think that might have been started by Aleix Espargaro. He also went wide there into Tramonto, so clearly a little bit slippery into there. Aleix Espargaro didn't go down, but Bezzecchi did. So that
was so close. Sorry, Lewis. I think we inherited the lead after Miller's mistake into turn 4, and the beast was almost down as well himself there. The left foot was off the foot peg. That was a big scare for him. The hottest condition of the weekend are already proving pretty troublesome, aren't they, for these MotoGP riders?
And Fabio Quartararo, of course, with the 2 dropouts ahead of him, he's up into the top 6 now. The yellow flags are out again, though.
Both Miller and Bezzecchi have rejoined his cross.
2 more down. Di Giannantonio and Morbidelli are both plummeting.
Going for it on the inside here as well. He takes the lead in his home Grand Prix on the inside into Quercia corner. Into the outside of the circuit, nothing that the beast could do. So Bagnaia then hits the front here.
And Quartararo
has gone down. Quartararo then has crashed out. Heading hands for Lynn Jarvis. Fabio Quartararo then now, for the 3rd race in the last 4, will not be scoring a point, and it's all slipping away from the Frenchman. His grasp on this MotoGP World Championship is loosening by the second. What's happening to Fabio Quartararo? We're on board with the world champion. He's going into the southern loop. This is turn 2 where Rins has been so strong. The front goes out from underneath Fabio Quartararo, and is that a body blow for his world title hopes? It is heading hands then. Lost Lynn Jarvis. So we've lost Jack Miller out of this Grand Prix. We have now lost Fabio Quartararo. It could well be going to Malaysia in next weekend. A 2-horse race for this title between Pecco Bagnaia and Aleix Espargaro. Gave her down the brakes. Marc Marquez, always tough to outbreak into the Dillon corner. And now with clear track in front of him, can he start stretching away one of his big rivals back in the front? Bagnaia in position A to try and secure that 4th consecutive victory in 2022. He leads his man on the circuit, believe it or not, is the Suzuki of Alex Rins with a 132.875. He's down in 8th place.
Aleix Espargaro out wide there as they went through 13. He's led through. This was very early contact there from 14, but largely had to rely on mistakes up ahead of him and to be opportunistic, and he certainly was there. The world champion up to 5th.
As it stands at the moment, will be increasing his world championship lead over Aleix Espargaro, surrendering big points potentially to Bagnaia, who comes over the line, clicked into his groove and his rhythm just as we expected he would do after that big early scare, losing a fraction too hot there, maybe just picking up some dirty air behind Bagnaia's factory Ducati, just in a little bit hot there going into turn number 8.
Marquez watches on how much he would love to be in and amongst this battle. The 8 times world champion will be testing here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Of course, his return to competitive action will hopefully be not too long after that. But for now, yeah.
5.60. That was about a tenth faster than Pecco Bagnaia. He was just over half a second over the line behind at the fellow Italian.
We're about to find out on this lap, though, what kind of race pace found underneath him. It's the first lap really where he's got any kind of clear track ahead of him. He's got an 1/8 of a second gap to make up.
Here comes that's really aggressive on the inside of in the Cara corner. He got in hot, but he somehow pulled it up towards the apex. Brilliant that by Mattia Preliman in second place. It's already been a race of attrition, hasn't it, so far, with Miller start of the front road going down. Bagnaia then leads, and now with clear track in front of him, can he start shutting away one of his big rivals back at the front? Bagnaia in position A to try and secure that 4th consecutive victory in 2022. He's quickest man on the circuit, believe it or not, is the Suzuki of Alex Rins with a 1:32.875. He's down in 8th place.
Now shows over front wheel behind Pecco Bagnaia. Still, any one of 6 or 7 riders could still win this.
And that
Here
has
comes
got
Miller.
Miller gets up the inside of Pecco Bagnaia. Is he going to get in a little bit hot? Bagnaia just comes straight back on the inside on the cutback, down the hill to turn number 10.
Oh, again, was quicker than the leading pair, so there's going to be an interesting dynamic going on soon, because Martin appears to have the superior pace. Turn 3, but Miller's able to pull out in front, so it is now a factory Ducati. The same battle as the end of the British Grand Prix. Miller now out of turn 3, but Miller's able to pull out in front, so it is now a factory Ducati 1-2.
That helicopter shot there gave you a great indication of how just that robot Ducati squad when they engage that rear ride height device coming out of turn 3 to get the power and get some make sure the foam doesn't pop up on the or through the horsepower being put through those motors. Algang strong, he's in hot mode. He got through what for a split second at the inside line and got back through. Now these two
There's more at stake here.
there's more than just pride and points at stake here. These two are fighting for the most sought after seats in MotoGP in 2023. For a factory Ducati seat in 2023. There's a lot at stake here, folks.
So good at the end of Grand Prix. Needs to make sure that he's in contention to take advantage of that late race pace on more tyres at the end. He's been relegated 2 places on that lap. Fastest lap this time to the world champion, by Aleix Espargaro, who does a 1:29.9. Espargaro, although it doesn't favour them this circuit, Kimi could have counted themselves.
I thought he was going to power by Aleix Espargaro's and put it there on the run down to turn number 4. He's not close enough. He's gone well wide in turn number 4. Look how much time and ground he's lost. He's going to slot in behind, back down to 8th from 4th. This is a right old dogfight, isn't it? As we mentioned, there's a lot at stake between these two. I was just about to say, please have a problem stopping in the hard braking zones all weekend, tried to find a way back through. Tamumi can't make it, he gets closed up by way too hot at turn number 4. He's had problems in braking zones here in the past. Don't forget 2020 when he had brake failure on the Yamaha. He had to jump off at about 140 miles. Now fighting like a lion here, isn't he? What a job he's doing. He's got through. There's a problem here, isn't it? What happened there to him? Just all of a sudden slowed right up in the brakes for turn number 4. Well, that really cost him because he was worried about hitting. What on earth happened there to the Italian on the 23 bike? He's got a major problem. Big issue at turn 3. He runs completely off into turn number 4. Has he got some kind of braking problem? And that's cruel in the extreme for the Italian.
Here comes Miller.
Miller gets up the inside. Is he going to get in a little bit hot? Bagnaia just comes straight back on the inside on the cutback, down the hill into turn number 10. He's found a way through. Not going to give up this 7th place, is he, without an almighty fight? In fact, he has rescued it back.
Darren Bender, by the way, he's crashed out this Grand Prix. That's going to be very tight.
Really
through
close.
to Beamer, got pasted, perhaps he chase even further up the order. He could soon be chasing down the other Aprilia.
Way outside the top 10. He's actually running at a real impressive pace. On that last lap he did a 1:30.5, which was a bit quicker than a lot of the riders directly ahead of him. He's made a mistake. He's made the mistake then into 2A.
And we saw in the Moto3 race earlier on a rider go through there and not lose any time and got a long lap penalty down.
Encountering submissions, he clearly put the left arm up there briefly. Fontanieto saw it, we saw it. There's crew chief Danny Romagnoli as well. Is there going to be more drama here? The two men who are fighting for that factory seat, we've already lost an air with a technical problem. Is the mechanical issue now going to deliver more heartache? Streaking away from the Spaniard. What's going to happen here with what is going on that Prima Pamac GP22?
Desperately scrambling to try and stop that Aprilia into turn 4. It's lighting up the eyes. That lead did briefly click over a second through the mini sectors, top left of your the screen, but Miller has closed it back down a little bit. Again, we're now on board with Jack Miller's come through into third place. He's a rider that we expected to keep an eye on in these conditions. His teammate, though, Pecco Bagnaia, had a terrible start. He's down 6 places, down into 12. Look at Joan Mir. He's already cut half of the deficit. He's up into the top 10, 8th position.
Yeah, really aggressive, hasn't he been already, as he had to be. Joan Mir, looks Marquez, I think, in the background there, just putting his hand up. I think he might have made a bit of a hard move on somebody. They splash their way through then into the third sector on this opening lap, just where he wanted to be. Coming under early pressure here, the advantage just under 0.3 of a second. You can see there the spray. If you're a mid-pack now, it's going to be difficult to pick your way through vision-wise in this busy last sector.
Well, we feared for in these wet conditions, but so far they're going very well. Easiest one. Franco Morbidelli's moved through from 14th on the grid up to 6th now. He's just gone past Jorge Martin. Andrea Dovizioso is also going well in 12th as Miguel Oliveira powers his way on the final corner and eases past.
Oh, look at the spray problems further back down the field. Made a mistake there coming out the final corner. He's been picked up as well now, briefly by Jack Miller into turn 1. He just lost all of his exit speed at turn 17. Time they got the finish line, and all the momentum lost to Miller.
But Oliveira away at the front. Jack Miller, though, on the move in second place. We've got 4 different manufacturers in the top 4 at the moment, with Alex Rins just out of picture. There he is in the back of the screens, up in 4th, just ahead of Johan Zark.
That move stuck. That's brilliant by the Ducati man. We thought he was going to be a big contender in these rain conditions. These are conditions that the Thriller Miller revels in. Just struggling for pace. He went a little bit wide there, then he coming through turn number 11. Thought he was going to get swallowed up by as good of a start it's been for off place.
And the championship leader, Enea Bastianini, he's all the way down in 15th spot, so he's not enjoying these conditions at this very early stage. Maybe he'll build into it as this race goes on, but the championship leader is in big trouble at this very early stage. Here are your 3 leaders then. There's a little bit of a look at Jack Miller. He's hanging on to them. It looked like he might slip backwards when he lost lead at the start of this lap, but now with some references ahead of him, able to go with the leaders.
Now he's got his hands full, 2 flying Frenchmen all over his rear tyre. Now this battle, as it rages on, is just giving Miller a chance to break away. You can see the top 2 men there. They're already going.
I said earlier on in the warm lap,
spin.
don't touch the curb. Got on the curb, and it just lost him all his momentum.
I think that's what happened as Jack Miller then, with the hammer down, a 1:41, 1:61. Keep tabs with this early pace by the Australian. On that last lap was also a 1:41.1.
This is the view back then from the race leader, Jack Miller, who we've so often seen excel in these kind of conditions. We've perhaps seen less of that over the years, but he's certainly proving that he's the match for Jack Miller at the moment. Is he going to have a little look now? No, he stays where he is for the moment. While these 2 are pulling away, happy just to sit there if he feels he's got the pace later on in this Grand Prix.
It's the Aussie Jack Miller, always super strong in these tricky rain conditions, that still has the advantage. He fires in another 1:41.2, just a 10th quicker in second place. I'll drop this pace down to the mid 1:41s as well. There's a PB lap time from the Spaniard. This is as aggressive as we've seen Pecco Bagnaia for much of this 2022 season. How much do you want this MotoGP World title? Well, we've already seen how much he wants it. On the inside to the southern loop, on the inside of the road. Brilliant by Bagnaia, he's 3rd.
What a start though for the first lap. Jack Miller embroiled in a bit of a battle. He was side by side with his teammate Bagnaia on the approach into 2 corner, but he's now back down a place. He's back where he started in P8.
He's got one of the rapidly quick Ducatis behind him going down this Gardner straight. Might swallow him up here. Nightmare then for the sat wide again into that Miller corner. He had a problem there running wide through there. They're already trying to build up an advantage here early on.
Comes low, he's having a look at the inside into entry, and they're now going 3 abreast as Miller forces his way past. But Miller now in a very good position to help his teammate Bagnaia. He's up behind.
Quickly into his groove. Now he's got his eyes on a later Spargaro, who's a little bit wide, a wide line there, Aprilia going through the hay shed. Now Jack Miller, surely he'll either go for it down the hill into turn 10 here. He'll be trying to get close to Aprilia Spargaro's Aprilia to slip through. No, he's going for it right now. We can see him setting that all up, going through Lukey Heights. Alex Spargo was just a little bit offline going through the hay shed. That would have disturbed his corner speed through Lukey Heights. Jack Miller said thank you very much. Miller on the charge here now, the Aussie up into P4. Made a big mistake, he got it all out of shape on the brakes into the Miller corner. 12 minutes back through the order. That was a big mistake. There's dirt on those tyres. He came through that wet grass on the outside of turn number 4. He's dropped behind. High drama here early on then. Surely now he's going to be giving up the World Championship lead he's held since round 5 in Portimao.
How big a moment will that be? Miller through on Bagnaia, so Miller certainly desperately wants a home victory, and he's not giving up on the World Championship yet.
Well, it's red on red, it's blue on blue as well. There's some friendly fire coming in here. Clearly, as we suspected there wouldn't be, as we hoped there wouldn't be, no team orders. Jack Miller still in with a mathematical real chance of winning this championship. And of course, he's desperate to add his name to the likes of Wayne Gardner, Mick Dunn, Casey Stoner. To MotoGP here, he is going for broke. Miller trying to win his own Grand Prix for the second time. He won it in Moto3 back here in 2014.
Used to chip away. He's still acting in the low 1 minute 40s. Jack Miller's starting to match him on pace, so he's just keeping the Portuguese rider in check. They're all setting personal best laps in that leading group. In fact, the fastest man of the leading group on that last lap was the world champion, 1:40.184, putting some of those fears about his wet weather riding to bed. He's keeping Johan Zarco well and truly in sight.
Got to be careful there, Zarco. He was in hot there and off the line into turn 13 as he tries to keep on par with Alex Rins ahead of him. That might well have cost him a couple of tenths. Francesco Guidotti, what an amazing start to his tenure. We heard about the fantastic grip levels here in the rain conditions in Mandalika. A 1:39 slick tyre pace. Astonishing what high grip levels we've got here in the rain.
Absolutely. Once again, the next fastest rider on track was fast, certainly growing in confidence in these wet conditions. He's 0.6 of a second.
On the outside, Simon said that's not where you want to be. Those guys not going there intentionally. It's just where they're finding themselves with the spray and the visibility. That was huge. And Pecco Bagnaia in particular need to go and buy a lottery ticket tonight, because that was so close to disaster for the pair of them. They're still circulating in this Mandalika Grand Prix. Nobody's doing a better job right now, but he's now on this lap alone in 3 seconds, taking 7/10 after Jack Miller, stretching away here. 2.2 seconds the gap to the final sector.
Of course, out of the Grand Prix. We're glad to see that he's uninjured, and the tragic hope solely lying on the shoulders of Johan Zarco at the moment.
Yeah, we've had tropical thunderstorms which have dominated the afternoon here in Mandalika, and a face of thunder. Unfortunately, he had a big scare coming out the final corner at the start of this Grand Prix, and then the big moment on the brakes going into turn 1, that wasn't savable. Down the road he went. Thankfully, he's okay, because that was a fast old crash. As Alex Rins tries to resist the two Frenchmen honing in on behind him, and it looks like the move's coming. Yeah. Into turn 12, it was all about the power he could get through the ground. Out of turn number 11, he made that look so simple.
It's a long time between podiums, hasn't he? Not since the first half of last season. He was on the podium, of course. He'll be looking to end that here. He clearly felt he had more pace. He's got on with it, and got on with it pretty quickly. He was the fastest rider last time around. Even with the overtake, he's still closing in on Jack Miller up ahead of him. 1.3 seconds the gap to Jack Miller up ahead. 1.8 behind at the start of this lap, so he's clearly got pace to go after the Australian up in front. Has he got anything out front? Who's 3.5 seconds clear now.
Again, took another 0.8 of a second out of Miller on that previous lap. Miller's just in the 140s. They've got themselves tucked into those 139s. Likewise, Joan Mir, who's probably unlikely to figure in that battle for the top 5. He's 2.7 seconds behind, lost contact with Miller. What's going on here? Well, got some kind of problem, just eases on through as well. The blink of an eye was right on the rear tyre. Now he's dropped right out of that podium battle and surrendered another place to the other moment coming out that final corner at turn 17 earlier in the Grand Prix.
Jack Miller a little bit wide there. That might put him under pressure now. This is where to get the slingshot as we head down into turn 10. Is he going to go to the inside? He is.
Yeah, he's worked that move. He's looked at that move a couple of times. He gets him way too hot. They've got to be careful there. He doesn't want to pick up the throttle and launch himself to the moon. So it was a brief sojourn into second place for the Frenchman. And turn 10, he was down there, of course, at the end of FP4 in dramatic fashion on the dropped oil by Alex Rins, the stricken Suzuki. And now right back in the heat of the battle here for second place. Once he got heat in those tyres as well, found his rhythm, found his confidence, having started in the lead, he's getting himself right back into this podium battle.
Well, the fastest rider on the track at the moment. He might be having a look at it. Actually, here he goes. Look up the inside onto turn 16. Has he left his brake a little bit to it? No, that's beautifully done. At one point, it looks as if he was fading in this race. He's now back into the podium positions.
Yeah, he knew there, as long as he had his outside and his peripheral vision, there was no way that was going to be able to cut it back on the Ducati. Is there going to be a bit of Ducati power coming into effect here? Just flits on by us. Big moment there on a bit of standing water. A puddle that caught out, and he does indeed lose that spot.
Oh!
Trying to get on the gas as quickly as he dared through that first corner. He had a big step out of the rear tyre as well, so it's now back into third place. 75% of the race distance has been completed.
Yeah, we almost saw a French connection there. Able to take that third place. He's the fastest rider on track again. He's doing low 139s. He was 4/10 quicker even than the leader, but with 5 laps to go, be able to manage that 4.6 second gap. We're going to have another go. He's not been able to make these overtakes cleanly so far. He has a little look at the inside, has to stay in 4th position for now.
Yeah, cracking battle this, raging for second place here in Indonesia. It's still Avantis Miller. He
He's doing a great job. A bit of French resistance going on here. He can't resist anymore though, can he? Go up the inside. This has been a brilliant recovery by the last 5 or 6 laps have been sensational. The world champion's ride from the world champion.
Turn one, but the top 2 in the championship are in the thick of this battle. Once again having a look, but he just cannot outbrake Jack Miller into turn 10 against top, but Miller outbrakes himself, and that's just the opportunity he needs. He'll have the inside now into turn 11, and that should be enough for him to move into 3rd place finally.
I just had my heart in my mouth there because we didn't see, thinking, oh no, what's happened to the world champion, but he's put clear daylight now between himself and this battle for 3rd place from Miller. In this lap alone, there was a moment there through 13 for Jack Miller, right foot off the peg. He's obviously encountering a few late grip issues here. Is there still a little bit of life left in this race, because has found 0.6 of a second in the first 3 seconds of this current lap alone. Let's check the gap between this man, your race leader, as he's about to start lap 17. 3 to go here in Mandalika. 3.4 seconds
faster time around.
Smelling an unlikely victory here, putting real pressure. 38.749, then down to 3.4 seconds up the inside. He's got that moved on, you know, he's not going to let him have it for nothing, and he fights straight back. He leans on the world championship leader, something to it there, hasn't he? Engaging with Darren Binder, and he made the mistake going into turn 2.
The world championship leader looking to try and rescue whatever points he can, and he's rescued an extra point there. That's not a place for you to see people overtake, but Bash carving his way through.
He doesn't want any late drama here, does he? Get up to the front of this group and maybe check back, and here comes no fear, no holes. We saw some fireworks from him in his Moto 3 career. Getting hot though, the pressure's been building, and they're finally side by side on that sweep down to take that 5th place. And that means if you threw the checkered flag now, that slips 28 points behind here on Miller.
In that Italian sandwich again, isn't he, that he talked about on Friday?
He's going for his line.
Great move.
Oh, brilliant bike. You see that coming a mile off. He set it up going into the chicane. Is he going to get outgunned on the climb up towards turn 3? No, he's not. Miller tries to hold on to 3rd place. Unbelievably close action here in MotoGP. Puts the factory at 2nd place. Miller 3rd, in 4th. What a ride by the world champ. Yellow flags are out in sector 1 and 2. Somebody's gone down the chicane.
Talk about the move of a world champion. That was opportunism. Could he?
Was half a second quicker than Bagnola. And made the dream launch off the line. He got the whole shot. That's exactly how he would have wanted it. Plan A executed to perfection for him. And Miller, they're still inside that top 3 off the front row. Really check up there, didn't he? He almost plowed into the back of this factory in front. That's going to cost momentum now coming on to this start-finish straight.
Miller now has a go for 2nd place, get the run out of turn 3, but Miller's able to pull out in front, so it is now a factory Ducati.
He got through what for a split second, kept the inside line and got back through. Now these two are there's more than just pride and points at stake here. These two are fighting for one of the most sought after seats in MotoGP in 2023. On the last lap, is your race leader. His advantage over the line was cut down to 2.8 seconds. Here comes Jack Miller up the inside, and he's got that move stuck. That's brilliant by the Ducati man. We thought he was going to be a big contender in these rain conditions. These are conditions that the Thriller Miller revels in. Just struggling for pace. He ran a little bit wide there, then he coming through turn number 11, thought he was going to get swallowed up by. He had a big step out of the rear tyre as well, so he's doing a great job. A bit of French resistance going on here. He can't resist anymore though, can he? 5 or 6 laps have been sensational. The world champion's ride from the world champion. In this lap alone, there was a moment there through 13 for Jack Miller, right foot off the peg. He's obviously encountering a few late grip issues here. Is there still a little bit of life left in this race? Right in context, but there's 3 abreast into turn 12, the sandwich, and he's the one that comes out on the wrong side of it, surrendering crucial championship points here. Now his advantage over the line was cut down to 2.8 seconds into turn 12 there. Just got to keep his focus, keep his concentration. It's been a perfect Grand Prix so far. He's not put a foot wrong. Keeps that wheels in line, going in hot again into turn 13. But here we go, just a couple of corners left for him in this first Indonesian Grand Prix. In 25 years, it has been well worth going to take 2nd place, but through the final corner then comes a man in Mandalika, a famous win here, first Indonesian Grand Prix in a quarter of a century, a brilliant podium, really good 2nd place, does take 3rd, goes to Miller. He's going to win this heated battle.
He takes the final point, just 1 point from the first 2 races.
Let's take a look at the final ranking of the MotoGP race before the traditional podium ceremony. With the winner who gave us a perfect race today, In addition to the victory, she won 25 very important points for the world ranking. We are picking up again live from the track where the first three riders have just arrived on the podium for the awards ceremony. We've seen a very exciting race and these riders deserve all the love from the fans.